ocean. You look amazing to me. Sometimes it feels like I can't help but show it. I think that we're meant to be. Where your eyes, they look like the sun on the ocean. You look amazing to me.
Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome one, welcome all. I hope you all have had a great morning so far, as I know I have. As today we're going to be starting off strong with some Direct Strike, specifically the Direct Strike Commanders Tournament Finals. We're going to be jumping into the final round, the penultimate climax of this competitive experience. And you guys are going to get to see it here first live. That's right. We're not casting from replay. The tournament is, it's wrapping up right now. And you guys are going to get to see it firsthand. And I'm excited for this. So for those who are wondering and are surprised, like, hey, where did this tournament come from? It's been going on for a while now. I myself am only just getting into it as far as following it is concerned. We've had some other activities that have been in the way, preventing me from jumping in on the action. But for the moment, we have a good opportunity, and we're going to be taking it. So without further ado, the Direct Strike tournament will be starting out here pretty soon. I will be joined by two other members of the Direct Strike community. We'll be jumping into that Discord call momentarily. For the moment, we're making sure that the players are all set and the match will be ready to go. Hello there, Crack. All right. Okay then, let's go ahead and hop into Discord. Hello, hello, hello.
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 Welcome, welcome. All right, so here we have Basilisk joining us here,
Hello.
as well as Nova.
Hi.
I know you guys may recognize Nova, as we've encountered him many a time on the StarCraft stream nights. Mostly in Direct Strike.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
This is not unusual. Let's see. All right. It's going to be at least another minute before we get the lobby up and running. In terms of excitement, yes, I am, and I know much of chat will be excited, especially the EU squad.
The EU squad?
The European-friendly time zone streams.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Alright, is the lobby up and running?
No, we're still waiting.
They're doing pick bans.
Okay. So we've got pick bans still going before opening the lobby.
Yeah, we could talk a little bit about the players if you want to.
I would love to talk a little bit about the players. So we have the two teams here. It is, I believe, Team Yay against Team Doom Guys. Would be a best of 7.
Exactly. So they already have played together.
Okay.
In this tournament.
Okay.
Team A is the favorite because Team A won, and then Doom Guys went to the losers bracket and kind of worked their way up to the final again.
Okay.
Yeah, so they met in the upper bracket finals, and now they're meeting in the finals again.
Okay. So is this? So I'm largely unfamiliar with the tournament so far. I haven't been following it closely. The tournament format, is this double elimination?
Correct.
Exactly.
Okay. And so we have Team Yi that has not lost a life, as it were.
Yes, exactly. They are currently undefeated, and they are the favored team. I mean, Doom Guys is the underdog here.
Okay. Okay, so we do have the underdog experience going. Now, how is the double elimination being handled as far as the finals are concerned? Do they have to win twice in order to proceed, or is this merely just double elimination until the finals?
I think it's just a regular best of 7, if I'm not mistaken. We could ask Crag, he's around. But if I'm not mistaken, it's just a regular best of 7.
All right.
I'll ask him just to be 1000% sure.
Sounds good to me. I know he's currently got his hands full, cat herding, as we like to call it. Players know the rules. Yes, but we don't, Crag.
So yeah, I just checked
Okay,
for the
that's-
precedent match they played. So it was won by Team Ye 3-1.
Okay. All right. So I would just let that go. It's fine. It's not necessary. It's best of 7. Yeah. Okay, so regular old best of 7.
Okay, talking about the players, man, from Team Yeah, like I think Shame is like the one, like the I don't know that much about commanders, right? Like I'm mainly a standard player, but even in the standard community, like the name Shame comes up quite a bit. And then I think he's like won the previous tourneys. Basilic, maybe you can correct me on this.
Yeah, he won. I think he won every single tourney last 3 years. He was always not always the same team, but he won every tourney. So he's clearly considered one of the best players, if not the best player of Direct Strike Commander.
Right, so the Cyril, if you will.
It's
Oh,
the
Lord
Starro.
have mercy.
And,
Yep.
yeah, his 2 teammates, I'm not sure they played already in tournaments. I don't remember them. Maybe I'm mistaken on this one. But it's very, very strong player, top level players.
Yeah, with
Okay.
him is like Codex and what's the other guy's name?
It's WoW.
Yeah, wow. Okay, wow, yeah. So those 2 players are actually extremely well. Like when I watched the upper bracket finals, it was them carrying the game and doing like lots of really cool plays, and like they played together extremely well. Like they have so many different strategies that they employ, like I said, team, not particularly like in one lane per se, but like they have like whole like the 3 players are gonna synergize this way. Like I saw them, like one went Hyperion, the other went what was it, Alexander, and the other one was catching those 2 heroes and just like completely pushed all the way. It was amazing to watch. Like they have so many different strategies. They can I'm sure they can play every commander. Like I've seen them play Raynor, Stukov, Tychus, Vorisoon, but I'm sure they can basically play everything.
That's one thing I'm
Right.
looking forward to seeing. The potential for the more experienced players, such as, tournament competitors, doing some mixed lane madness, as it were. It's like, I've seen, I don't know how many thousands upon thousands of games of Direct Strike, and it's the basic by default is one player versus one player, and you just kind of shove off whatever extra you have to the next player. But when you actually have particularly experienced players, like like say the players here, you can do some mixed lane madness, as it were, to say, hey, I'm going to build my wave such that it purposefully sends units over to the next wave.
Exactly, and that's the beauty of the game. At some point, it becomes much more complex because you have to consider the leaks and what you'll be pushing into. And yeah, Team Ye have shown some really good synergy. I mean, they thought about it in advance. You can feel that.
And what I really like about them is like the way their leaks work is usually like they will leak in a way where it's so hard to counter them. Like it's so ridiculously hard. Like for example, I think that that game I was telling you about where it was like Hyperion Alexander, the other one was a Tychus. So like how do you counter Tychus plus Hyperion plus Alexander? Like if any of those leak into you, it's just not possible to counter both ground and heavy air. And so that's the way they like to play. Like they'll think of the most punishing leak ever, and they'll like if they stack, you're super screwed.
Mass Yamato.
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard for Team Doom, guys. I'm excited to see what they come up with. It's definitely an uphill battle for them. So the bans are interesting. Mengsk and Raynor. Well, not that surprised. I think Mengsk's been banned most.
Really, Mengsk? That surprises me.
Yeah, it seems like after. Yeah, go ahead, Basilic.
I think Shame is known to be extremely good with Mengsk, so I guess the Doom guys banned Mengsk for this very specific reason. And also Team Doom guys like to play Statman, and Mengsk kind of forbids Statman totally. And the ban of Raynor is pretty obvious. We've seen a lot of Stukov play recently with them. You're using a lot of synergy with how is it called, the Alexander play and Apocalypse, and for Stukov it's extremely hard to deal with Raynor. So by doing that, they kind of allow themselves to play Stukov without having too much of a problem.
Okay, that makes sense.
Stukov's been a tourney favorite.
That is not a surprise to me at all. It's like between Stepman and Stukov, it's like these are particularly popular commanders. I was just surprised about Mengsk because I was like, Mengsk doesn't really have some super problematic matchups. Although I guess I can see why they would want to ban it if they intend to go Stepman along the way.
Yes, Stepman is one reason, and Mengsk can be countered pretty well by attackers. So, yeah.
Basically, if I'm not mistaken, the Emperor's Shadow Leak is absolutely like destructive, right?
Absolutely. Imagine you want to have some Muta plays or something that is very weak versus the Emperor Shadow immolation. That could be absolutely devastating.
Yeah.
And we didn't talk about the other team, actually. We didn't introduce them. So do you know them a bit, Nova?
I know Shirartem, when I saw him play, his Tychus versus Tychus was amazing. Like, he was owning Shame. That one game, he was doing extremely well with Tychus. The other guys, I don't know as much. Let's see, who are the other guys? Yeah, Mad Brain and I'm Too Young to Die.
So Mad Brain is a Korean player who has played for a very long time, and he's pretty versatile, even though he's very good with Abathur, and he's probably an Abathur main. He's very known for his buy micro and his Abathur play, but he's a very solid player. He can play almost everything. And the last one was Scarecrow, and him I don't know him, but I've seen him play. I guess he often plays Statman. He's really a Statman specialist. At least it's what it turns out during the tournament. And for the other, I don't know.
Okay. Okay. Well then, it looks like the picks and bans, or at least the bans, have been completed.
So we're waiting for the lobby to open now.
Yes.
I'm surprised Team Ye banned Raynor, because that's been a commander they play.
It's really good versus Stukov. It's really Stukov's nightmare, and as they use a lot of Stukov play, and it's often the same player, if I'm not mistaken. It's always it's often the same player who played their Stukov, so so they can really be countered easily. I'm playing I think it's WoW, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I'm versus WoW. I will just pick Rainer and own him. Because apart from Rainer, StarCraft doesn't have huge weaknesses. I mean, he's weak versus Manx maybe, but what else?
I'm talking those Emperor Shadows.
Yeah,
Okay,
Emperor Shadows
lobby is
amazing.
open.
We've also
Lobby is
been
open.
seeing a fair bit of Kerrigan play on this tournament. That
yeah.
one I'm very surprised about.
Okay, we're in the lobby.
I think it's funny how, as a spectator observer, we get commander choice. Why is it like this?
That's true. Yeah. Okay. So Alias is Shame. Suoha is Codex,
Exactly.
and Scarecrow is who?
WoW, I guess.
No.
By elimination. Ah no, Scarecrow is the other team.
Oh yeah, Scarecrow is Scarecrow. Yeah.
Scarecrow is indeed Scarecrow.
Yes.
Wow, I didn't realize. So one of the players, Chirartem, actually has Grandmaster rank on the ladder, which is such a rare sight to see on the arcade.
Yeah, that's true.
Usually when I see someone who's got like a high rank, ladder rank, like Masters or higher, I'm like, oh, this player has no idea what they're doing in the arcade.
You know, it's
Yeah,
funny
it's not
because.
always-
No, yeah, sorry, Basil, you can go ahead.
No, I mean I was saying it's not always a good sign. I mean, but at least you can appreciate you can micro. But when I'm in a lobby and I see a Grandmaster, I'm not always assuming he will play well.
Yeah,
But here,
yeah.
time is very very solid at both.
Which is an unusual combination. But
Yeah,
I'm all for it.
I remember one direct strike commander game where I played Serral, and we owned him. It was a real one, of course, and he was not.
Yeah, I've
He
seen
was not
both
that
sides of this. I've seen both sides of the spectrums. Where like I saw Skillwis play with the Canadian player, the Canadian pro Trigger, and wow, okay, that was really bad direct strike play. I'm not gonna lie. But then also the guy that won the previous 3v3 direct strike standard tournament used to be a grandmaster. I don't know if he's anymore. Uweb. Well, not super grandmaster, but he was in there,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is always funny to me because like most of the time, unless the arcade has some very transferable mechanics, it's just like it is usually like learning a new game, and well, a lot of the players who spend their time doing standard StarCraft just don't have the experience learning the new game that is whatever the arcade experience is.
They usually have like a good knowledge of like unit interactions, but I think what ends up happening is like in the regular game, there's like a lot of like worker harassment, which you don't really get in Direct Strike. So that is some part of the game that doesn't translate very well.
Mm-hmm. But ladies and
I guess
gentlemen,
the normal direct strike is much closer to the game than Commander,
True.
isn't it?
yes. But ladies and gentlemen, here we are. We're starting it off round 1 in this best of 7. The 3v3, well, it's direct strike, so it's going to be 3v3 with rare, unless we're doing something weird with it. But we're off to round 1 between Team Yi and Team... Oh boy, it is...
Doom guys.
Doom guys. I was like... Doom Slayer? No, Doom guys.
Both would have been nice games, nice names.
Yes.
Doom Slayers, why not?
I'm looking forward to seeing what the commander choices are because the picks we had some speculations as to what they were going to pick based on their bans, but it will be revealed to us soon.
100% chance of Stukov, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. And probably Statman.
Stukov, probably Stetman. Maybe Stukov on one side, Stetman on the other.
Lower chance of some Tychus and Kerrigan.
Chira is expecting Stukov, so maybe Chira will pick Karak. That would make sense because it's one of his main, maybe. And Karak is pretty good versus Stukov.
I remember the last tournament I played in, it was during a meta where Tychus was omnipresent. And there
I'd
was...
say it's still the case.
Yeah.
And we're off. Alright. Oh, there's your Stukov. Here we have Gerarda. The first position in the red, playing as Stukov. He'll be spawning against his opponent on the other side. It's wow. Going off of his in-game names, because translating it is hard. It will be a Stukov mirror match.
Wow.
And already we have the top team taking mid control, spawning 2 infested civilians just to grab that the middle line and with it the income. And in the second position, we have Young. Let's see, where's his worker? What are you spawning
He's
as?
playing Tychus.
Playing
It's Tychus
Tychus.
versus Statman.
Yeah.
Alright. It is. And he'll be facing against Alice. Oh wow, yeah, he's this guy. I've encountered this guy on just out in the open. I recognize the platform, the base creep around. But Alice will be playing as Stetman. So we will have a Stetman mirror match.
That's
actually, that's not a
Shame,
mirror
by the
match.
way.
Yeah, that's Shame. Okay. In the third position, we have Scarecrow, who is playing as Stetman. So we have the same commanders on all sides, it would seem. Where is
Suaha, I
the
think
third
it's Dehaka.
position?
So
Dehaka,
yeah,
yes. Okay, so we do actually have a difference.
I'm
There.
super curious about the Dehaka play. Well, we've seen some good Dehaka play with the creeper host. It's really stacking and annoying, and it could do a whole bunch of damage. So curious to see how that's gonna work out for the bottom team. I'm also super surprised that Shame decided to play Stutman.
Oh, is he
Yeah,
did they get to
that's
snipe the bunker?
surprising. Oh,
they're-
yo, the bunker,
yeah,
dude.
bunker just got
Bunker sniped.
sniped.
I don't know if you remember the game they played before, but it was also a Dehaka versus Statman, and the Scarecrow was really annoyed by the creeper host. And he didn't do any... Usually you can do like observers to tank for them, and here he didn't do it, and he was really a hard counter. So as they were expecting that Statman, maybe that was the plan.
Okay.
So the matchup are Stukov Mirror, then Tychus versus Statman, and then Statman versus Dehaka.
Kind of surprised we didn't see a Tychus unit placed beforehand. And saving up to 3 before dropping.
And they did pay the price for it, right? Like
Yeah,
lost the bunker
they
because of that.
absolutely did pay a
Yeah.
price for it. And that gave the lower team here quite an advantage, at least at the start.
Maybe he was scared of a mirror match, and he didn't want to commit, maybe?
Maybe.
So, I'm pretty sure Suar is doing creeper now. He's saving for creeper, taking for creeper. You can see
We do
Chira going
have-
straight to Apple.
Yeah,
With
and we
the
do
careful
have Super
positioning of
Gary. Straight to Apocalypse. Brave soul.
So Apocalypse versus Apocalypse is really standard in the mirror match. It's something that is countering almost everything Stukov has, and it's really hard for him to kill it.
That makes sense to me.
Yeah, Stukov mirror matches are really... how many Apocalypse can you put on the board?
Tanks can be nice too. Tanks can be nice too. They do actually decent damage versus Apocalypse. You can stack them and you have the front line to protect them.
Interesting that we see the roaches away. We to see something along the lines of roaches away spam out of Stetman, maybe.
Oh, and the creepers already with the precast. Precast very important in that game. Oh, what's up? What's that bug? What's that bug? This is a bug.
I think it doesn't have. Oh, yeah. Actually, I was like, wait a minute. Why isn't it burrowing? It's supposed to burrow.
And the queens. Queens will be here to do the damage to the Apocalypse and also to defend versus Super Gary. A lot of single target damage from that unit.
It's worth noting that the queens didn't have their extra energy on spawn, at least not this wave, so they didn't have enough energy to cast the broodlings.
True.
Gary survives this time.
I'm extremely surprised about the infestor play of Shane. Because I don't really see that often, and I think it's very vulnerable to Titus grenade. I mean, usually with Nikara and the damage upgrade of Titus, which he did, I think he can one-shot the content of Infest spam. So I'm curious to see how Shane can make it work.
Whenever I see Shane playing, I'm always confused, but you know, in Shane we trust. Like, that he's the best player.
He forgot the air attack upgrade. That's why.
There he gets
he
it,
just
okay.
did it now. He just did it now. What's his mistake? He forgot that for like too long.
I think maybe he's trying to get like a number of swarm hosts before they get the stack going. Like, I still see like they're trying to stack the creeper hosts, but at the same time, like the Apocalypse are also in the back position. They're not really front. So he's also trying to just move the Apox back. But I'm pretty sure at some point he has to move the Apox front to catch the creeper host, right?
Here you can see the grenade. You see the grenade? What's up? That's
Just
what I was
chunking
talking about.
the entire thing. 15 kills that spawn.
That's why you usually don't do infestors in that match.
Like, personally, I
Nick
don't
Arrow
mind the
great,
idea
pretty
of infestors as long as you have them kind of spread out. Like, just a few in there to be an extra chunk. But
That's true. And the creepers will be stacking more and more. You see lurkers coming here to help to defend versus the Titus. Lurkers here just for the leak because they were kind of scared that they were pushing bunker.
lurkers also work reasonably versus the Apocalypse as well.
That's true. That's true.
These things
so
are
this
always
is
funny
the
to me.
first- This is the first time that the Tychus is gonna fight head on against the Gary, the Stetman. Let's see how the front on fight goes.
That grenade's gonna be chunky. Yeah.
He wasn't very well centered. It could have been even better.
Yeah, I just don't see the Mecha Infestors working out so well. Like this, he could just use the Rob, Shane the stun, and then grenade, and then the whole Roach Ravager army is dead.
Yeah.
To be fair, there aren't a whole lot of great options. Like, traditionally, it's something like lurkers to do damage and just hope you out DPS Tychus, which doesn't work, but at least it does some okay damage. Infestors,
I totally agree. It's still the better option at this time. Lings and lurkers. How I see all the best player plays, really.
I'm wondering if the reason they're doing infestors is so they can offset in a way that is disruptive. Because lings and lurkers tend to just kind of die and don't work particularly well.
He's committing to it. It's so funny, I never seen that play. It's so original, but it's true that with one grenade you can shoot an amount, but if there is too many, one grenade won't deal with that. You need Nexus. You need Nexus.
It's making me wonder if the reason they're doing this is to Ravager spam and to use the Ravagers as targets for... I don't even know, because like they're pushing it into another Stetman, which Are they doing it to help with the leak against Stukov? I would think that Ling and Lurker would work better against Stukov. I'm not sure. Maybe they're just trying to force Tychus into a specific unit composition.
But you know, I think
don't know.
the big part about this match right now, it's not even the Mecha Stetman, right? It's like the Haka is stacking a billion creeper hosts. The Stukov mirror match is being won by the bottom team right now because he's just done more Apocalypse than his opponent. His opponent's already switching into siege tanks. So that's gonna favor the bottom team really well. So he's always gonna have some APOC leak into the Stukov, and that's gonna help him out. Into the Tychus. So he's always gonna have a lot of help in there.
Honestly, I would still think it's a mistake to do that, even if it's shame. I think Shiratem is not, Young is not really taking advantage of this mistake. He's not doing an Ikara to boost the grenade, and he's not doing Nazis to rape all that shit. So it only works kind of well because Young is doing mistake, in my opinion.
Yeah, but WoW is totally doing the job, man.
WoW is really raping his opponent.
More APOCs beat less APOCs.
And if Tychus died before he can use his grenade, that's totally deadly for him. But I would argue that you are right. I mean, to push into another Stepman, maybe Infestors are better than Lurkers. Because Lurkers are just too easily countered by links, Stepman links.
That's the only thing I can think of. Then again, I'm not a tournament champion over here, so.
Dude, these creeper host leaks are just so devastating to Artem.
It really is. It's just ruining his wave.
Yes. I think the Ultra it can be a good answer versus the creeper host, but you need some overtiers to tank.
Dude, you can always see how confident one team is by their gas count. And if you look at the bottom team right now, their total gas count is 6. They just went up to 7. And the top team is 0 gas. So they're really far behind. I don't really see any army that they're making that can stack. Like, if you look at their armies, they're all positioned front. And there's nothing really stacking going on except maybe like Shirartem have some tanks. And Scarecrow have some lurkers, but I don't think that's like enough of a big stack. Like, let's say like this the Haka. This the Haka has like a billion creeper hosts. That's something you can stack on, right? But if you look at the top team, they don't have like a creeper host equivalent. They're not trying to stack on a Hyperion or something. So this is really bad for Team Doom guys game 1.
And now they're adding tanks, so they're trying to build some kind of stack maybe at the Nexus. They will do that defensively. And right now it won't do much, but maybe at the Nexus they would be able to stack them.
I would like them to move back a little bit.
Well, they're gonna inevitably get pushed back, because I mean, you said it yourself. You said it already. Team Doom guys up on the top section have 0 gas against opponents that are still increasing their gas count. The longer this game goes on, the more bulk difference the teams will have between them. And it's gonna end up with the bottom team, Team Yi, just having more stuff. And, well, the StarCraft, at the end of the day, more things beat fewer things.
Absolutely. You see Dehaka jumping back, trying to defend his host. You know that defending his host is really crucial here. And the Apo into the Viking. So the goal of the WoW is to kill to don't let these tanks survive. So he cannot mid-code the Apocalypse into the tank line.
How do you feel about these rattlesnake?
I like them.
If he plans to go tier 3, I mean,
The rattlesnakes.
maybe they will work, but he lacks the AoE.
Yeah, once you get the area of effect, the rattlesnakes just wipe out the most things on the opposing team here. Like these Mecha Ravagers and the Roaches just melt to Rattlesnake area of effect.
I
It's
was really surprised he didn't add a nest, and he didn't plan to go for Jetstream. He's not having AoE. Tychus is playing without AoE, which is a very packed army.
I mean, the guy's playing Tychus and only just now got his first refinery. They don't have money to spend on it. Tychus has to go to tier 3 to get that area of effect to unlock, and that's just probably more than he can afford right now.
Yeah, it costs 450 just to go tier 3, and then 40 minimal per upgrade. Or per AoE upgrade, so that's extremely expensive.
He's still tier 1, the Tychus.
Yeah.
So on.
Yeah.
It's
Here the Ultralists don't do that much versus that click because Mecha Ultralists, I don't think they do AoE. So versus that kind of army, it's kind of not really powerful. Even though in the matchup they're usually very good. Here the Lurkers are probably doing more jobs dealing with the
we have one lurker empowering the other lurkers. I love to see it. The power cord. And it's sitting there tanking. Oh my god.
Now maybe the tank will be able to stack, maybe?
What I've never seen is an infestor power cording up to he's getting its umbilical up to a Dahaka. Which is what we saw here to heal that Dahaka up. But now we've got Apocalypse on the base. They do so much damage to bases. Not because they have a lot of damage output, but because they don't die. They just sit there and 1v1 the base if left alone.
He was so hungry for the Planetary Fortress. He literally used his ability on all the Apocs to move closer to the Planetary Fortress as possible. And the PF it took a lot of damage. It was below 50% HP. Now the Stukov is healing it.
Will it be enough? Will it be enough? Now the tank will stack behind the bunker, making
It's a lot of
kind of
creeper
protected.
host.
And
So
I
this
think
is
tank here is really a way out, and Shira is right about that.
this
He's
is
hungry
the whole
for it.
strategy. Yes. Just trying to
Exactly,
set
desperate
these
move.
tanks up behind the planetary and use the planetary as almost an HP tank for the tank so they can stack. But I don't think they're gonna be able to boomerang back. No, the APOC on the base. No, that's just it.
They were microing the Dahaka was microing the creeper host directly into the Planetary Fortress, and then the APOC guy was using all his APOC ability on the PF. So he was really hungry for it. He was smelling for blood. Like he was hunting for blood.
Well, there we have it. Team Ye scores 1 point.
Yeah,
And-
1-0 for Team Ye.
You know what that means? That brings them 1 point closer to taking the prize for the victory here. So if you guys remember, there is a prize pool. A very special prize
Right, we
pool.
forgot to...
And you know what? I think the most interesting part about it is actually the stream key, not the stream keys, the game keys for Mechabellum, yes?
Yes, I'm not sure. Yes, so the winning team will get team keys for Mechabellum, which is a game very kind of similar in the concept of Direct Strike Commander. But there is also a dollar prize pool, right, Nova?
Yeah, okay, so there's Mechabellum keys for the winners. Each winner will get one Mechabellum key sponsored by the Mechabellum team. The developers were kind enough to give us a key for each player that won, so that's very interesting. Mechabellum's a game. It's kind of like Direct Strike, but less micro. I think no micro. But it is similar in that you position units and they, like an auto-battler. And there's also going to be a prize pool of $525 for the tournament, $300 going to the winning team, so that's $100 per player. Second place gets $135, so that's $45 per player. And third place gets $90, that's $30 per player. So both teams here are guaranteed like the $135. It's just a matter of who's gonna get the remaining $165.
Yes, I'm excited. And I want to say, because Mechabellum is a game that I've done a lot of streaming for. And as much as I hate to say it on a tournament cast, Mechabellum has replaced Direct Strike for me in my life. Like, it is just that good. And so I'm not surprised to see the Mechabellum team going over to your Direct Strike community and saying, "Hey guys, we got some game keys for a game that we know you're going to like because you guys like Direct Strike." It is quite the enjoyable experience. And yes, it is that auto battler style. It is very much so in the same genre as Direct Strike. I think we pressed the join button too fast.
You can move us, it's fine.
But I want to compete again not again. All right. As we get set up for the next round.
Okay, they're in the wrong order. Didn't work out.
Okay. So now I have to wonder, Team Doom guys, how are they going to change things up this next round? Because to my understanding, the bans are consistent, as in we don't do another round of bans between each round, correct?
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
So it is going to be the same context. So we would expect to see a similar commander choices, or at least the option to more or less safely bring Stukov and more or less safely bring Stetman. And having both teams being able to safely bring those commanders makes it quite, I don't want to say samey, but I would reasonably expect those commanders to be on the board for most of these matches.
Yeah, most of the time when a team has a winning strategy, they kind of stay with it, and it's the other team who has to adapt. And here, it's Doom guys who kind of is more likely, I would say, to change the strategy. You can notice that the order of the player didn't change at all. So it will be Tira versus Woe again, and Tim versus Young again. So I'm not sure what they would have chosen here, because Setman was really unusual for Shane, and I would expect him to change his commander, because I don't know. I don't see Shane playing Setman very often, and I think it was more for surprise him, and to make them scared, maybe to make them scared. I don't know, to pick something that is weak versus Setman.
I'm really worried here for Team Doom guys, because the game they won in the upper bracket finals against the Team Yi was on the back of Tychus. So I'm sure they were, when they brought out the Tychus in this game, they were expecting to do a little bit better, and it went really poorly for them. So I am a little bit scared for Team Doom guys. That is supposed to be their winning strat, the Tychus. It didn't work out so well. But the Haka stacking the creeper host was really a huge problem for them. So I'm kind of excited to see how they think they can overcome that issue.
I wouldn't be surprised if Shira would pick Karax here, because now he has the guarantee, almost guarantee. You know he's likely to pick Stukov, and Karax can do well versus Stukov, probably better than a mirror. And I know he plays Karax, but of course it's not the best Stukov counter. But you know, Raynor are banned, and Shira, I think he plays Stukov, Karax, and Tychus, and that's all I've seen him playing during the tournament. But I know he can also play Arcanet, even though it's pretty rare.
Okay.
But, you know, also at the same time, I do think Team Doom guys are kind of relaxed. Like, I don't think they're nervous at all. I'm sure they're pretty relaxed in this match. Like, they already got second place, which is extremely good for them. So I'm hoping that they'll relax a little bit and show us some of their more different strategies that they come up with, and it won't be too samey.
Mass
No,
laser
I think you
giraffe.
forgot that there are Mechabellum key you can win, so I think they're pretty eager to win the first place. They want to try that game, right?
Maybe, yeah. How is Mechabellum Incursus?
Mechabellum? I love Mechabellum. It's a lot like direct. I'm sure you've seen it. You've seen it before, right?
Yeah.
It is a lot like Mechabellum. I'm sorry. It is a lot like Direct Strike, and it is an auto battler where you place units on the board exactly the same way you do with Direct Strike. The difference is that you cannot micro whatsoever. Also, it is more of a 1v1 type experience. You don't have the rotating cycle of teammates to smash. So it creates a different strategic context that makes it much more simple, but otherwise mechanically very similar. And I like it because it's got I'm going to describe it as a wider variety of units, which is a weird thing to say when StarCraft has hundreds upon hundreds of different individual units. But in Mechabellum, everyone has access to the same thing. So it is more of a choice of which units do you bring to the board. And every unit has a very defined role with little variation on it. So yes, sure, you only have like something like 30 units combined total that you can pick from, but you see all of those units most of the time. Or you'll have to worry about all those units most of the time, as opposed to StarCraft, or at least Direct Strike, where it's like, okay, well, you have these... He's playing Raynor, so you have to worry about, I don't know, these 3 specific units, and the other ones are just kind of there to, meet shield or whatnot. In Mechabellum, you have... every unit is a threat. Every unit has to be taken into account, and so it feels like you have a lot more to deal with, despite having a smaller set of units to work with. And it makes the game quite satisfying in a way that you don't really get out of Direct Strike. Then again, I would love to see a Direct Strike style mode where it's just like a straight copy paste, so you have the leaks and everything for the purposes of well, getting that kind of chaos into the melee.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about Mechabellum from Crag. Crag is the guy who organized this whole tournament. Nice French Canadian. He's the guy who organized this whole tournament, and he plays Mechabellum a lot. He has over 100 hours on it, and he has nothing but nice things to say about Mechabellum as well.
Yeah, I mean, it comes highly recommended. Like, if you're the type of player who enjoys Direct Strike, Mechabellum's right up your alley. Obviously, it's not exactly the same, but it scratches that same itch.
All right, we're ready. We're gonna get into the loading screen. Oh.
The man did a countdown and then hit 0 and then paused. You can't do this. That's not...
It's illegal.
Stop, that's illegal. Yes. I was like pausing and waiting. It's like, all right, we're ready, and nope. Off the loading screen we go. Round 2 of this best of 7. Team Doom guys versus Team Ye. It looks like it is Team Doom guys on the top section again. Team Yi on the bottom half. We have Carix. Ooh, you were correct. It was indeed Carix. Carix versus Abathur. Oh, Lord. Carix versus Abathur. Then Stetman versus Vorazun. And Abathur versus... And he's gone.
I think it's Carix too, it's possible?
Carix.
Yes, Carix.
Yes,
Another
Carix.
Carix.
So Abathur versus Carix. We see no Stetmans and no Stukovs.
So
But-
nothing's the same.
Yeah, nothing's the same. That's surprising. I think you nailed it the first time. The players know that Stetman and Stukov are the commanders to play around, and so the other players are saying, hey, we're going to do the counter picks to these two obviously good commanders to choose. And both teams did that simultaneously, so now we're here. The only odd one out, I think, would be Vorazun choice, but Vorazun is like the counter of the counter pick, which works quite well against the things that beats Stukov for the most part.
Yeah, I think I want Shame to transition out of these stalkers as soon as possible. You don't want to have too many stalkers against Stetman. He hasn't realized that he's up against Stetman. That's probably why he's adding so many stalkers. But I think once he realizes that he's against Stetman, he'll transition out of them.
That and Vorazun in just about every matchup does actually want stalkers, if for no other reason than to be some kind of chaff-like unit that tanky takes hits while everything else deals damage. Like, stalkers are never a bad unit for Vorazun. It's just a question of how many is too many.
Well, Stukov, like the stalkers are so insanely flexible because if you're behind, you can move them back. You can like blink and your teammate can catch you in the early game. And once you're in the mid to late game, you can move them front and catch your teammate, which you can see like that is kind of the idea because his teammate is before him is Abathur, so he can blink front, catch some swarm host. Like, it's really flexible. I love the Vorazun pick here. It's in the perfect positioning, too.
Yes. Vorazun is just... Oh my god. Vorazun in cooperative team play is just game-breaking at times. I mean, it's like, oh, here's my wave. My entire wave blinks, and therefore I'm just attacking somebody else's wave now.
Blinks and heals.
Blinks and heals. And...
Yes.
It's just a revolving door of HP, and that's just the stalkers, not even including other things like, oh, here's a stasis ward that's just gonna lock you down entirely, split your wave in half so I can piecemeal kill it, and oh no, here's a black hole. Oh god, the stalkers blunked into the AoE splash damage and they're all gone.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, that I would like him to transition out of these stalkers ASAP, because stalkers, Stetman lurkers are extremely strong versus the stalkers. Speaking from experience here.
And here we see exactly why.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder what the follow-up will be. Will it just be Void Rays? We see tier 2, which isn't surprising. It's
you look at this meta, you did Tira cannot counter that.
Yeah, it's gotta just be Void Rays, right? Out of Warzone. I've been ignoring Abathur because, like, what? I mean, as Abathur versus Carix, you go Mutas and Carix just kind of dies. It's one of the more hard counters in the game. One of the more strict counters in the game. Eventually some of those mutas should be upgraded to Devourers, but that's a very set in stone match that we should mention, as we're going to see those mutas with the biomass into more mutas, as they'll smash the mirages as well as the support carriers pretty hard.
Has very, very few time to reverse the match, because if the muta push into that Stetman, it will be very, very, very hard for him. Especially if he has Devors, and now top teams know that they have to push back right now, because they have a bit of time, because at first the muta will impale themselves in the bunker, and that will save them for a couple rounds, but not that many rounds.
It is worth noting that mutas specifically, because they're so squishy and clump so much, are quite easy to clean up. The problem is they deal a lot of damage in the process. So we'll see something like the Stetman player, just with the Egorbs, the orb ability on Gary himself, will be able to clean up those mutas. Just adding in a Corruptor or two should guarantee that they get cleaned up. The problem is that now you've added in Corruptors and you've added in large amount, a substantial percentage of your income has gone to dealing with the mutas rather than dealing with your direct opponent, and in that case, that just gives the Vorazun player lots of opportunity to take advantage of it, and that gives the bottom team, Team E, just that much more of an advantage. We see the Carix player choosing to snipe out that bunker instead of taking out the Swarm hosts, and so the Swarm hosts survive. And we'll see some Swarm hosts pushing in toward these mutas here, but obviously the mutas don't particularly care much because they kind of break everything in the Carix wave with room to spare. Even after getting hit by that beam, losing all of them, the Carix player has a whopping 1 Mirage that survives. Like, that's not the world you want to be in as Team Doom guys here. Not surprised to see these Void Rays.
You know, but it's not the complete end of the world for Team Doom guys because they also have an Avatar versus Carix match. So it's and the Carix leak from the bottom team every time Suoha leaks into Shirartem, it's not that bad because all his units are ground. Like his units can't really attack Carix's units.
Mm-hmm.
So it's they still have a lot of potential here. Like it's not completely terrible. It's just that stacking these swarm hosts was not the way to go. Because they're not really shooting at the mutas. And
I
so
mean,
they
that can
don't
be
really do
changed.
anything.
But she forgot the fucking anti-air upgrade.
Yeah, I was gonna say, once you get
it's really important that.
It is going to be super important. Getting the anti-air on the Swarm host should allow the Carix to survive an extra second or two. Which would be, nice.
I don't understand why he's skipping it. Like, if your main point is to stack Swarm Host, like, why aren't you getting the anti-air for the Swarm Host? I don't understand.
He just forgot it.
It's like 8 minutes in now.
Yeah. No, it's fine, maybe. He just forgot it. But what you said before is very true. I mean, now that Forazon has air of himself, that man can add corruptors, and it will still be good versus his own wave, or kind of useful versus his own wave. And a couple of corruptors can defend a lot of mutas. So that will create like a wall to prevent the bottom team pushing.
Yes. Given the mirror-like matches going on here, I think this match will turn, at this point, on how much eco the teams have behind it. Yes. Oh, the Igor. Oh, the active ability to counter it.
Hydra?
Why not corruptors?
I think Hydra, because he's trying to rely on the E-Gorbs to deal with the mutas, which would have worked if it wasn't for the Abathur flash heal, wave-wide flash heal, and the mutas just work a little bit better. The Hydras work just a little bit better versus the Void Rays.
Yeah, Hydra works better versus the Void Rays for sure. But at some points, the Forazon ground.
Yeah.
The ground versus Forazon is very scary because you can use Corsairs to kind of make all the ground kind of useless.
Okay, now this is starting to look pretty bad because the Carix before didn't really have anything that could attack air, but he's slowly transitioning into Phoenix, Carrier, well, Mirage, Carrier.
Oh, this is the DG?
This might just...
Oh, that's a lot of mutas.
That is a lot of mutas.
Heal,
And he heals through it, and that's gonna be it. Abasher wave-wide flash heal, yeah, missing that corruptor. Man, if they had just a single corruptor in there when those mutas bunched up, it could have single-handedly wiped out every single one of those mutas. That'd have been like a 35 kill corruptor.
But I really think the advantage in terms of like heroes and positioning was favoring Doom guys. It's just that Team Yi just outplayed them really hard this game.
Yes, they did. And I want to say
I didn't like...
the Vorazun.
Yeah, I didn't like Chaos Crew play versus Karak. There's really a lot of farm hosts. I think the meta would have been better here.
I think the Vorazun really messed them up there. Just having Stalker leaks into everything.
I gotta say I gotta agree with Basilic here, where the Abathur from Team Doom guys, like opening Swarm Host just set them back so hard, and the Swarm Host never accomplished anything at all. Imagine instead of Swarm Host, he opened the mutas, he's pushing the Carix, he's the one leaking into the next Abathur, and he's helping his Carix win his wave. It's a completely different game.
Yeah, to me it's kind of. I mean, some hosts can be useful in the matchup, but here there was a really big investment into them, a really big one, higher than usual, I would say.
And they didn't contribute anything against the mutas, which was the huge problem. Like, even
Yeah,
if
he
they
forgot the
leaked...
air upgrade. He forgot
Yeah.
the air upgrade, but actually with the air upgrade, some hosts are not that bad at dealing with mutas. They do cause trade efficient. I mean, trade cost efficiently or almost efficiently. And he forgot them for too long. He forgot this upgrade for too long. But was it also the same hacker who forgot the? No, it was not. It was actually his opponent who forgot also the hacker air upgrade for a bit.
Yeah, so that was an interesting one. Makes you wonder: are we going to go back to Stukov Stepan, or is it going to be a continuous revolving selection of commanders?
Abba is very strong in the current meta, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was an Abba again. But Statman is actually can do decently versus Abba, so maybe we see some Statman again too. Abba's Muta have so many DPS versus armor, it's crazy, so it can really turn out the game very quickly. And here you see how they snipe the bunker, at what speed they fucking snipe it. It was really crazy.
Out of the last 7 games they've played, the only one where Team Doom guys have won is the one they played Tychus. So I'd be surprised if they didn't kind of try to like rotate back into that Tychus again, because this game was a total heartbreaker. Like that game went really poorly for them. Like they got outplayed really hard. So I think they'll try to avoid a scenario like this where it's kind of like the same commanders again, as they've been outplayed now twice with very similar commander picks. So I think they'll rotate into maybe try and surprise Team Yi somehow.
Well, we're about to
Synergy,
find
man.
out.
Oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
We're about to find out as we are loading into round 3 of this best of 7.
Yeah, that synergy from Team Yi is just insane.
They really are working very well together. All right, and we're off. Starting with from Team Doom guys, Phoenix in the first position against Vorazun. Then Tychus in the second position against Apather. And Stukov in the third position against, and he's gone.
Player 6 is Abathur maybe?
Tychus.
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 Stukov versus Tychus. Well, that's going to be an interesting one. So we do have a Tychus on both sides. And it's opening with Phoenix versus Vorazun. Team Yi does claim the middle line and the early eco with that. And in doing so reveals that they are Vorazun. I would think because they were revealed as Vorazun that the Vorazun player would put the cannons down just to stop any potential cheese. Such as double Banshee out of Stukov coming down here. Oh dear.
How do you
see
Basilic?
Tychus open?
Yeah, Basilic, how do you feel about Phoenix versus Vorazun? I think that's gonna be a crucial match.
I think it's a very interesting matchup, and early game Phoenix can do great. Late game it has a lot of trouble dealing with the air, and it's often extremely interesting as a matchup because both players can do a lot of variations. There are several ways to play it on both sides. Some people rely a lot on DT and Stalkers early game. Some people like to go air quite early, even though you always need some ground.
And Stalkers just bully everything.
Early
It's
game
the
Stalkers
blink.
brings a lot of tempo, and it often allows your ally to take up or to do other stuff while you like pressuring them with that. And as you said before, they are almost never bad.
The middle lane, like, they're still hiding. They still don't want to show what they're playing.
Yeah. So the second position players for both teams have not constructed any units. Well, all we can do is wait and see what they're going to how they handle it.
Tychus versus Abba, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, so
Mutas.
Mass mutas.
Oh no, no! It is versus
Uh-oh.
Tychus. He will convert them. He will convert them. But he doesn't know he's versus Tychus.
He
And
doesn't
You can see
know.
the-
Extremely bad.
There's a ping on the Muta, so they're definitely talking like, oh, dude, look, it's Mutas.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
no.
Oh no, that might be bad. That might be very bad.
Mutas do not handle Tychus very well. That is a lot of civilians being dropped all in one turn.
But
So these
might be
mutas,
able to kill the bunker.
they are getting the bunker. As we mentioned before, as you did mention before, the mutas clear bunkers and buildings really well. There's that bonus
Okay,
armor damage.
If Shame commits more to mutas, it might be problematic because converting all those mutas will be pretty costly.
Tychus just got scanned. They know it's
Oh
Tychus.
shit.
I
Okay, now it will be funny.
and they have a Nux to start it. Here
Oh,
comes the
shit.
storm.
And now Shame understand how is it in... No, he didn't pre-heal for the grenades.
The Stalker leak is gonna be
He's
enough
adding-
to make it work anyway.
Yeah,
But for
He's
how
adding
long?
Ravagers.
I mean,
I don't see this.
it's Warzone. You can do all kinds of cheeky stuff all game. It's kind of Warzone's gimmick.
Here's Crow added an infested liberator to fight the mutas, even though he's versus Tychus.
That's a quick
That's really out
arbiter.
of despair.
That is a very quick
What the
2-3.
fuck? Nobody can scan?
I think they just used all their scans.
wow.
There's
Yeah,
one.
Warzone is probably still tier 1.
I don't
This
know
is
why
really their
the
chance to go back.
I don't know why
I
the
think
Tychus is so back. Like if he was front, he would have been able to catch that a lot faster. And he really needs to be fast there.
God, the whole Muta wave dies just off of a button
I
click.
don't understand why he... Sorry. I don't understand why he's adding Ravagers. I mean, for me, I thought the number one priority was to convert the mutas.
But look, the Stalkers are so good, it doesn't even matter. The Stalkers are enough to clear all of Tychus, the heroes.
Yeah, for Tychus it's a very annoying league because you don't fight Stalkers with the same tools than you fight mutas. And here again, it's not no scan are used or late scan.
Here come the stalkers once again. Going to cause problems for Tychus. And the mutas. Oh, the mutas aren't. Oh, the mutas split. So we're going to see some mutas survive. Not that
No,
it really
this is
matters.
This is something I've been critical about Team Doom guys, like the whole tournament so far. It's like I don't understand their positioning. Like if you look at the positioning for Team Yi, you could see the blues all the way back because he's trying to stack his stalkers with the next wave, and Shame is trying to catch him as quick as possible with the mutas. And if you would think the same thing for the top team, his Phoenix is front, and he's trying to stack his Arbiter with the Tychus, but his Phoenix is front, like his Arbiter is front. So I don't quite understand why that's like that. Like if Imagine the Phoenix had all his army back and the Tychus was completely front. They would have stacked already. And they would have a much better chance of dealing with all these stalkers.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Well, they're gonna get their Tychus with Stukov stacked. Let's see. For their sake, I hope it pushes really well. It's looks like it's doing the job.
I can. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to add that I think this is why he wanted so many Ravagers. I think we can see now. He's using the Ravager Bios to snipe the Nikara before killing the other commanders. So that's
Yeah, right.
really good play from Shame.
But I could see them stop team going back because team still has a lot of mutas that are not that useful and get sniped very easily. But as you said before, the Stalker push is really annoying for Tychus.
Dude, imagine if the Phoenix guy was back. He would have fought there at the Planetary Fortress. He would have stacked all of his army. And then Tychus here would have cashed and they would have had like twice the army right here. Like, I really don't understand that. I'm so confused by that.
That is a significant factor here. Got the bile hitting multiple Tychus units. Does a lot of damage. This is what... Huh. Straight to Alexander. That explains where the money's been going. I was wondering what Stukov was doing. That will make a difference here. Especially against the Tychus player. As we see Team Yi's Tychus just getting stun locked here, basically. Right up until now, when they finally get the pull to yoink it into... to yoink the Alexander into weapons range.
Tychus is ready. He already have 2 SAM with the damage upgrade. With the Alexander.
Uh-oh.
But top team doesn't have a lot of to stack. I mean, except the Alexander. All of their units have...
Abathur flash shield coming in.
You know, this is a really important game for Team Doom guys to win. Like, if you're in a best of 7, you're down 0-2, you don't want to lose game number 3. That is so much momentum just thrown down the window. Like, if you're down 0-3, you suddenly have to win the next 4 games in a row. That's a lot of pressure. Like,
Dramatic really tension.
They really need a win here.
Ooh, this is a strong push. This is a strong push and they have a lot of DPS.
I don't know. Like, those swarm hosts are timing out on the team Doom guy Nexus. Like, that's...
Yeah, never a good sign.
That's so rough for them. I don't see them coming back from this. The Alexander was a power swing here, but honestly, it's, I think, helping Team Yi stack a little bit harder, and Team Yi already has the options to deal with it. They're using the Ravagers to burst it down from range, and they're using the Tychus grenade to pull it in closer. Like that. And now it's in weapons range and just gets melted.
Yeah.
Do something.
The Alexander's just not doing anything. The Tychus could completely clear it between the grenade, pulling it in, and then having just the 2 Reapers being able to throw the grenade on it and just kill the Alexander. It's not really stacking at all. And now this is a lot of Stalkers. I think they're like 1 black hole away from just completely killing the Planetary Fortress, which is very scary.
Yeah, and the black hole hasn't even been used yet, so it's off cooldown. It's just a matter of when does Team Yi want to do the push here?
Oh, these bios on Nikara have just been absolutely devastating. Like, everything the top team is trying to do to stack, Team Yi is completely preventing it. Like Team Doom guys is trying to come back at this game with like some Nakara Alexander play, and the Nakara is completely getting biled down, and the Alexander is just completely getting grenaded down by the Sams.
Yeah, Team Yi just has too much that spot sniping power.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing the
Team
Vorazun
Doom guys
player
coming
just
back,
adding
though.
more. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna get more and more rough. We see here that Team Yi is expending a lot of their extra money on additional gas income. They've gone up to 4 gases across the bottom, and that's going to leave them at an economic advantage, a substantial economic advantage over Team Doom guys. So at this point, I think their Team Yi is not trying to do anything fancy. They're just smashing repeatedly and letting their army differential army value just grow.
If you think about their gas count plus having middle, like right now their gas count is 5 plus middle is 6, so it's 11 gases to 1. There's such a big difference.
That's inevitability. Like if Team Doom guys wants to delay here to try to stack, I think that ends in Team Yi's favor.
We got something going on here. A couple tanks stacking with the Phoenix. All right, this is something. Let's see what he can get done. Tychus move front. I like it.
Tanks plus Colossi can definitely build a stack at the bunker, but they have to be quick because, as you explained before, the income advantage will just be more and more, the gap will be more and more big.
Another thing worth noting, the Tychus player has finally developed a wave that can handle Vorazun.
But
And
now
so
he's
those
fighting Guardians, and Guardians
Yeah.
are Tychus'
Yeah.
worst nightmare.
Guardians is like, just in time for the Guardians to show up. Yes. At least those Stalker leaks are finally being handled, as Team Doom guys is stacking and finally getting themselves at least close to the middle line.
This is awesome for them. This is their first time at actually having a chance at winning a game in this match. Like, look at the tank stacking. Oh, there comes the black hole. This is pretty bad.
Yeah.
And just like that,
Uh,
Vorazun comes into break. Well, Vorazun doesn't really have the full stack breaker loadout, so the black hole happens, but the units survive within it. And
Yeah, of course,
they cross the middle line.
Corsairs don't have that much DPS against the Colossus, and this Colossus does an insane amount of damage. Like, look, it's just melting the whole way from Abathur. Alright, this is something. We're getting somewhere.
And there goes the bunker.
They could build a stack. They could build a stack. So now they're coming back, and they have a lot of stacking potential. And bottom team is more playing the piercing strategy. They don't have much in that stack. He's adding Void Rays now, though. So those are some ability to stack, but other than that, not much. So it's very important to snipe the tank, so I expect to see some aggressive Stalker Blink to just try to get rid of that. But for now, Phoenix arrive in time to save
Yeah,
the tank.
bro. But he has so many disruptors now, and the disruptors... If the standard disruptors are really good, the Phoenix disruptors are absolutely insane against Stalkers. Like, they just completely melt the Stalkers away. So even a Blink front would be extremely risky.
Mm-hmm. Vipers are added.
I think this is the most problematic wave, no? Like, this Abathur has the highest chance of stacking.
Yeah, Avatar has the highest chance of stacking. But Avatar needs a front line for his Guardian to work. If he doesn't have a front line, he's limited of strongholds or other type of ground units. If Vega can reach the Guardians, Tychus is in trouble.
Yeah, this tank line leaking into the Vorazun is just absolutely devastating. Like, it's doing so much damage to the Stalkers. It's gonna clear most of the DTs as well. Yep, all the DTs are gone. The Zealots are gone. There's still enough leak here.
And Phoenix come in time just to save the tank each time, and that's really, really problematic.
You say that, but they get yoinked by the Vipers.
That's true.
Yeah, but as long as this Colossus is alive, like, that's the one that deals a bunch of damage. He clears like half the way by himself.
And Vorazun doesn't have
Guardians
enough
not
Void
more.
Rays to deal with it.
I'm surprised he
Scarecrow's
doesn't do
excited.
more color signs.
Yeah.
He brings his worker to the middle line.
But his worker has been on the field for the whole game almost. I don't like it. It's a very big unit. You really don't want it to be. It's kind of not. It's not fair play to put your worker in front of the army. You kind of. You see, he's kind of preventing the micro. This is. It may be even forbidden. I think it's forbidden by the rules.
Yeah,
People
that's
need to
super.
access their unit.
That's super illegal. Yes, I think he's just excited. He hasn't noticed. I'm hoping that's the case. But look,
I thought
giant
it was
stack
that, but
happening.
then I saw him microing the worker over the army, so he was moving it over the army.
The Tychus managed to catch Avatar, and they have a huge stack going on now. Look at the Guardian count. This is absolutely devastating now.
Yeah, the Guardian's count now is pretty high, and he has a front line to protect them.
Oh dear. Yes, that is a huge stack. All three players have units in this stack. Team Doom guys here in the north section were holding on almost exclusively because they had a stack. They were able to stack off of their base. They don't have a lot of stack breaking power here.
I think it comes down back to the fact that the bottom team had like so much economic advantage from early on that in a 1v1 fight they were gonna straight up win, right? And
Yes.
mix that with the fact that the Avatar had such high stacking potential with the Guardians on the sword most. Like it was only a matter of time before they were gonna get a restack in their favor.
Yeah, so this is what I was
And the
mentioning
Buster has a very
before.
good matchup.
Oh, dude, did you see all the Liberators going down to the Ravager vials?
Yeah.
Oh, it's painful.
Just sniped them all. Oh, Lord have mercy. Even the Alexander getting some vials of his own. Oh, Team Doom guys is trying to hold the line. The Planetary Fortress is just sitting there racking up damage. It's at 167 kills and counting. But they're getting attritioned down, which is a weird thing to see happen, given the Planetary's activity. And it's just, like, the Abathur still has Guardians. Just constantly firing shots. They're gonna tire... again, their units are timing me out on the Nexus.
Black Hole is now available again for the Vorazun.
Surely you just cast it behind the bunker, the Planetary at this point. Or not?
I think that's... The Stukov is too spread out.
He's having a lot of leaps to try to deal with the air.
Yeah, but he clumps all the Liberators together, and he's just easy target practice for Shane.
That's true. Sometimes
No.
it's nice to clump them together because they work well in synergy when they are close to each other, but versus AoE you couldn't. Definitely.
Phoenix is so clumped, not having the black hole hit him right there. It hurts my soul.
Oh man. It looked good for a second there for Team Doom guys, but
Yeah, of course,
Team
so-
Yeast not gonna stand for it.
Okay, this might be it.
I don't know, the Vorazun doesn't have a lot of DPS against the, are they gonna get it? The Guardians are locked on?
Oh my god, that's
No, they lost vision.
They switched targets. Yeah, Crag messaging me, letting me know that it is indeed against the rules to use your worker in the middle of the game to like try to prevent your opponent from microing.
Well, it looks like Team Yi's stack has been pushed back. Technically they shattered the stack, but Team Yi immediately restacked. So that's the worst sign. That's the worst sign for Team Doom guys here. It's like, oh hey, we finally broke the stack and stopped them from stacking. And by the time they broke the stack had already reformed.
Yeah, the only
Oof.
hope for the Doom guy is maybe Tychus very late. Tychus is unfavored in the matchup, but very, very late game, Tychus is the beast. So if they can hold another 20 minutes, maybe...
No,
No,
this
there's
game's
no
over.
way.
Here we go.
See, that was the black hole behind. That's what I was wondering. It's like, where is it? You just got to keep him off the Nexus so that it lets the lock on.
And GG.
Yeah, the Void Wraiths got the extra range because they attacked, and like, yeah, that was the perfect opportunity there. They saw it, they took it, and now they're up 3-0. One game
3-0.
away from winning 3 Mechabellum keys.
Team Yi getting close to it, going up to match point.
Absolutely dominating performance, by the way, by Team Yi. It's been like everything has gone in their way. Like, there's only one moment where we said like, oh my god, okay, this is getting close, but for the most part, it's been them completely dominating this finals.
Absolutely. The I love watching this kind of thing, or at least seeing it, because this is the kind of thing I can do myself. And it makes me happy to see it, because then I can just do the thing.
Yeah, just copy shame, you know, just play like
Yeah.
Cyril and you win
Yeah.
games. Easy.
That's it. That's it. Yeah, you know.
Play like Maru.
Super easy. Just do whatever they do. Just do whatever the pros do, yeah. He's totally not a grandmaster in the lobby. He has grandmaster set of skills.
Yeah, the easiest setup is when you're playing versus him and you have a mirror. Then you just copy him and you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
At least you're not losing, technically.
But then, you know, you're microing Ravagers and all his bios land on your units and all your bios miss and then you're dead.
You see,
Yeah,
that's not playing like Cyril. You just always
yeah.
hit, never miss.
Yeah, Cyril's done some insane plays I don't think anyone can replicate. Like, I've seen him, like, Viper Parasitic Bomb the perfect unit and stuff like that. Just, like, split a Muta with the Parabomb away from, like, a whole flock. It's really ridiculous, the thing he pulls off. Yeah, but I think we saw kind of, like, that micro really play out that in that last game where, like, for example, for the Tychus grenades from the Sams were always landing in the Alexander. The bios were always like landing perfectly on Nakara, or always perfectly landing on Liberators, getting always maximum value. The blinks were on point. Like, you really see a lot of the micro play out in what makes these players stand out so much.
Yes. All right, the players are ready going into match 4. Potentially the last match of this tournament. The last round.
Yeah, Shame is known for his micro. He's known to micro every single unit perfectly.
He's clearly doing it very well.
But I'm surprised there is not more Statman. Yeah, this afternoon I casted the last game, the semi-final, the final from the loser bracket, and I've seen a lot of Statman play from Team Doom guys, and here I don't see them that often. I thought it was really Scarecrow main, and I don't know, it was some interesting plays from them.
Well, they traded game 1, went really poorly. Now they're like alternating into other strats, seeing what they're kind of throwing spaghetti on the wall and seeing what sticks, you know?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I think what's making that difficult is Team Yi is constantly changing up their strategy, like fundamentally every time. They're not doing the same thing twice. They're not saying, hey, we won, now we're going to force you to figure out how to deal with this. No, they're just throwing out a different thing entirely.
Yes.
That's
probably
what
a
makes
good
them
idea.
that's what makes them so scary as a team, right? It's like they know all the counters, they have so many strategies in their book, like they can pick like let me pick from these 100 strategies, which one do I want to kill you with? And they'll play it like absolutely perfectly, and it's so hard to counter a team like that.
It is. We have Tychus in the first position against Stukov. And then it's Vorazun versus Nova. Oh, Lord have mercy. And then it's Abathur in the third position versus...
Maybe Tychus.
He's gone.
Tychus, yeah.
Okay.
The sixth player is Tychus.
Abathur versus Tychus. Hey, there he is. All right.
Okay, so good matchup for score. Abathur is clearly favored versus Tychus, at least until very, very late game. Moon opening Stalkers.
All
In
right.
what way will Team Yi bully Team Doom guys this time?
Well,
Yeah,
probably in the
Nova
Nova.
versus Warzone is very scary.
I was gonna say
I mean-
probably in the Nova versus Vorazun matchup.
Yeah,
God, the
and
blinks.
I can believe that Shame knows how to play it more than everyone.
Are they
Yes,
not
I'm
on voice
open.
shot?
Maybe he doesn't have a microphone.
Yeah, here, move your turret back. Move your turret back. You're helping Tychus to stay alive longer.
Luckily for them, it's not gonna really change anything. But that there was definitely some laziness going around there. He could have moved his turrets back and killed the Tigers faster. Goliath siege tank for Nova.
That's an interesting decision. Goliaths. So Goliaths
Well,
do have an interesting. They have a weird dynamic because Goliaths are just so tanky that it takes Stalkers forever to kill them, and Stalkers
Stalkers. Sorry.
Stalkers do
What
win.
surprise.
Yeah, Stalkers do win that, but man, in the time it takes to kill the Goliath, the Stalkers just lose they take so much damage.
That was absolutely ridiculous play from Sham. He just kept blinking the Nova around healing and completely protected the tank. I was gonna say, like, the tank is really just dancing around, sieging and unsieging. But it still managed to survive and killed all the Stalkers. That's ridiculous. Like, that should
Yeah,
not
but have
be
you
able to
seen-
happen.
Oh
Have
yeah,
you seen
no,
the
the
Stalker
Nova.
play?
Yeah.
He could have blinked forward and just killed the tanks very easily, and he wasn't microing them at all. I mean, of course, tanks stayed alive.
Oh Lord,
That's
and he's
very
going
good thing
for the
for what he did.
Raven. This is such a. I'm gonna say a high skill. It's just a high APM lineup here.
I don't understand this Stalker's micro. It's so easy to kill a single tank. With that
There
many
is
Stalkers.
no
Just blink
micro.
forward.
There is no micro, is what it is.
No, but dude, I mean, it's so easy to snipe the tank. There is a couple micro, but it's so easy to snipe the tank. The tank is hard to snipe when there is a front line and you cannot reach them, but in this situation, it's so easy.
The tank cannot stay alive on 2 HP.
That's pretty big. Now it's gonna get to deal with, or at least splash its damage around. We see the mass Banshee reveal. That's going to be a threat. A big one, especially against Tychus.
Okay, so
Why
some
does
blink-
he have a Kev? Why does he have a Kev?
Versus only Banshee.
I think he built the
early to
Kev
call the league.
before the Banshees revealed. The Banshees were a reaction to the Kev.
This is not too bad. If he blinks, can he blink? No,
he
he's
doesn't
just
blink.
auto blinking. Oh, that's so painful.
Sometimes he blinks one Stalker separately, but this is really a mistake from Young here. And and the Cav is really a mistake from Tychus. You don't commit blindly to a Cav without knowing what you're facing. Like, I see too many mistakes here. I don't think this game will be very long.
one Stalker is gonna stack and 2 Swarm Hosts.
That's not going to be enough. The Banshees, there's too many of them. Those Banshees are going to shred the Tychus wave.
I hate this upgrade. I hate this upgrade.
Diving the Banshees.
Yeah, it's just make them vulnerable by anti-ground. And now the tanks. Still uncontested. No forward blinking to snipe them. I mean, it's a difficult matchup for Nova. I can agree on that.
Yeah, for Farazin, I can agree on that. That's
Still.
What? What the fuck is that? Okay.
I don't even...
I'm surprised also by Avatar build.
I guess they're just trying to stack up with it. Like, they've got the Stalkers spawning backwards and the Abathur spawning forwards. All I can think of is they're trying to stack the Vorazun with all of those Stalkers into the Creeper hosts, the Swarm hosts, and then use the Swarm hosts to just constantly stream. Oh, now we get the blink forward.
Yeah.
Not that it
There
really
we go,
matters.
that
The goal
one's
wasn't even. The goal wasn't even necessary here.
Yeah.
But it went so much better for them now. Like, this is the first time they're pushing. This is pretty good.
Yeah, he discovered the blink ability.
Unironically,
Now this-
the Stalker
Go
spam
ahead.
is a strong-ish option here for the Vorazun. Oh,
These
he's
Stalker
Nova?
leaks
repositioning
are
them
so
forward.
painful.
Now trying to stack with the Tychus player.
Yeah, now he blinks. He's gonna get the cannon. Oh, okay, but the Stukov ability might be able to save it. Okay, no, Tychus is here. This thing's gone, right?
Wait, you can blink?
we go.
Ouch! The bunker goes down.
For the first time, we actually see... I think we actually see Team Doom guys firmly in the lead.
yes.
Which
And
is
he
a
was blinking first,
surprise.
tried to snipe the tank.
And Shim doesn't have the front line to protect them. If they were pushing, you don't care because the front line is the wave before you. But if you don't have a front line to protect your tank are kind of useless.
I think this is just the Stalker difference. In part, the Stalker's hitting, I'm going to describe as a critical mass, where on autopilot they just kind of never die due to being an infinite revolving door of shield regen. And in part, mostly the blink. Unlocking blink on the Nova.
And the Liberators are very useful here to defend versus the Titus.
This was all on the back of like that black hole and the Stalker blinking into that black hole and killing everything.
Yeah,
So
that's
I'm a
an-
little
I'm
bit
not
worried.
even sure. I'm not even sure the black hole was necessary here because I think the mass Stalker blink into the tank was enough to kill the tank. Anyway.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried right now. That's a lot of Banshees. All the Stalkers are gone now. Nova's wave is completely alive.
But
Tychus is here as well.
This is a
triple
three-player stack against a clean, fresh Abathur wave and nothing else. This is a proper boomerang.
And
Uh-oh.
the Abathur is only on Swarm Host, right? Like, he's mostly on Swarm Host. So that's not really an
Yeah.
army you want when you're
He
pushing.
does mass queens. That's very unusual in the matchup. He doesn't have Guardian. I mean, I'm very surprised by his build. Maybe he's
That's
playing off for it.
so many Banshees.
Look, he's
The
gonna snipe the
Vorazun
bunker.
player doesn't have detection.
He sniped the bunker in like 2 seconds. That's how many Banshees there are.
Okay, Farazun is going tier 2, he's gonna add Corsair soon, he'd have no choice. He needs the Corsair to kill the Banshees, otherwise he's dead.
I don't know if it's gonna matter. This game may not be long enough for that.
Oh, I like this. He's sieging the Liberators manually. So he's manually microing the Liberators. to get the maximum siege range.
And the tank and siege to try to snipe the bunker. Will Titus defend in time? And
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, we see it. 4-0, Team Yi takes it. And with this victory, they claim the prize. That's $300 for the first place and the Mechabellum keys. The real value here. Congratulations to Team Yi taking first place, knocking Team Doom Guys down into second. I believe it was 165 for the cash prize for the second place position.
135.
135. Thank you.
Yeah, dude, and they did it off the back of like really like a huge variation of play. It's not like they were picking the same commanders over and over again. They had a big variety of plays and really good stacks, really good synergy, extremely good micro. Like they're just the all-around complete package.
Yes.
Yeah,
That
they
was
really deserve it.
that was very good. I liked that. I liked that a lot.
This was the closest game that Team Doom guys were to winning, and they still got smacked really hard right there at the end.
Yeah, the Nova build was very, how do you say, edgy, because if he's getting pushed, the tank will die very quickly to the blinked Soakers. But if they push, there is no way the Soakers can do anything versus the tank staying in the back. And he reacted very late also versus the Banshee Leaks. He needed the Corsairs that would have been useful versus his own wave, the Nova. And he tried to go tier 2, but it was already too late at this point.
Alright, well, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you, Basilic and Nova, for doing some co-commenting here as we showcase these beautiful Direct Strike matches. And shout out to our
Thank you very
victors.
much.
And I will
My
see
pleasure.
you guys
Thank you,
next time.
Incursus.
Oh,
Thank
my
you for
pleasure,
having
my
me.
pleasure. See you guys out in the arcade.
See you.
All right, see ya.
Alright, chat. We're going to be doing some arcade gaming ourselves. We're going to go ahead and restart the stream here. Turn off the delay. That way we can get some live interactions. And I will return momentarily.